Barron has been stoic in his defence. He really has, and he's held off that Gagliardini car, and you can see Gagliardini's car is now getting away with it. He's pushed it so hard that he is seeing tyre dead greater than that of Philip Barron. Now again, Daniel D'Amato was slower last lap, but it was a 51.5 for Sam Smith. It was a 50.7 for Fabio Lima. He's the one that's really on a charge now, as much on a charge as Andrea Gagliardini is here, as he's continuing to chase down Philip Barron, but unsuccessfully thus far. Actually then, and I could see that coming, he just lined the car up through the chicane perfectly, and Philip went to dive into it and couldn't because the Gagliardini car was already in the gap. Now, whether that was a mistake by Philip not being quite soon enough on the turn in, but Gagliardini has gone through. So Gagliardini is now P5, Philip Barron is P6. That was a great ambitious move. Let's see it again. Yeah, you could just see how Philip Barron was about to try and turn in, and he just put the car exactly where he needed to do. Philip did not see that one coming, and Gagliardini moves up to P5. He took a fair bit of curve on the exit of the chicane, that's for sure, but here is Daniel D'Amato then, a 151.6 last time. And D'Amato losing time in the middle sector. Perhaps it's a tyre deg affecting that car as well. He's certainly not as quick as he once was, and he's seen his margin eroded slightly. Say eroded slightly, he's still got 7 seconds up the road before there. You can see Sam Smith, who is P2, and who is now being chased hard by Fabio Lima. Sam Smith had a real good margin, but that margin is down to under a second now. In fact, it's down to 5 tenths, or just under 6 tenths, between this man, Fabio Lima, and this man, Sam Smith. Did a brilliant job in qualifying, putting the car P2. He was one of only he and Daniel D'Amato that did sub 150 times, and now he's chased down by former single-seater star Fabio Lima. And Smith is going to have to use everything that he's got now to make that FF Corsa engineered 488 as wide as possible now to protect his P2 position against Fabio Lima. Around turn 14 the cars come now. Sorry, turn 13, heading towards turn number 14 now. And this is where Fabio Lima starts to try and set up a move going into turn number 1. So Fabio Lima beat one of our Ferrari GT drivers, Sam Bird, who of course was racing in Le Mans just last weekend, to the GP2 Championship some years ago, and now finds himself driving in the Ferrari Challenge, and is, well, within a tenth of Sam Smith. Both of them getting ever closer to Daniel D'Amato, but D'Amato has still got 6.8 seconds of a margin out front. Should be enough to see him through. So Smith, Lima, this is the real battle for podium place 2 in the pro category between Sam Smith and Fabio Lima. Now, car number 20, I am being told, which is Andrea Gagliardini, is being told to give the position back to Philip Barron. You'll note that I mentioned as they exited that chicane that Gagliardini went right off. Now, in my view, I think that's quite hard, because I think the overtake was done by then. But, in fairness, if Gagliardini was not able to make the exit of the turn, so he's got to give his P5 position back to Philip Barron. That will not sit well. In the AM category, the standings are Liebhauser, 10 seconds. Then it's Overgaard and Albuk, who is new into the Ferrari Challenge. And look at this, Gagliardini, you can see how much quicker he is than Philip Barron. He's opened up a huge gap because he's chasing down Alessandro Vezzoni now. His team will be telling him that he's got to give. Well, I wonder whether his team will be telling him that he's got to give that position back, or whether they'll try and negotiate with the race director after the race. We will see. But inevitably, Gagliardini is quicker. But in fairness, would he have been able to make the turn? Well, he wasn't able to make the turn, and therefore, if he'd have kept it within the white lines. And now, Philip Barron coming back at him, and Philip Barron is going to have to take that place back. So Daniel D'Amato, the leader in the Pro category, with 7.5 seconds of margin. The leader in the AM category is Jens Liebhauser, who is ahead of Christian Overgaard. And the leader in the 458 cars is Galapata. Smith then continues to show Fabio Lima a clean pair of heels. Just on 3 minutes left of the race. And indeed, Gagliardini has done it. He's given the place back to Philip Barron. So now he will have another go. He will feel probably hard done by for that, but rules are rules. Will he have a go in the chicane once again? Although, just have a feeling that Philip will make that car sufficiently wide this time, and indeed he did. So, now both of them run onto the grass. 2.5 minutes of the race left to run. And the drama, as always, in the Ferrari Challenge has come thick and fast. D'Amato comfortable with 7.5 seconds and is being matched in the sector times, though, by Smith and Fabio Lima, but not enough to. That's not enough to close that gap down, which is huge anyway. Just thought I saw a waved yellow there. There is Sam's. Lima is in trouble here because Sam Smith, who've just seen go through, bear in mind he was being chased hard by Fabio Lima. Lima is now behind Alessandro Bezzoni. Lima has got an issue. So Sam Smith then in P2. Now Fabio Lima has got the Philip Barron car right behind him, and there's also a problem there for the Chris Froggatt car. So Chris Froggatt, we saw in the pit lane, of course, having to take a drive-through penalty. Just wonder whether it was a right rear puncture, because the car appeared to be kicking up some dust from that part. Now, whatever issue Fabio Lima had, I mean, Sector 1 pace is good. Whether he made a mistake in the final sector, don't know. In the meantime, Barron has seen off the charge from Gagliardini for the moment. What's happened to Lima is that he's lost that podium place to Alessandro Bezzoni. That's why Lima was on the outside of Sam Smith. Thank you, Franco, our director, for throwing that replay in there. That's what happened to Fabio Lima. Went around the outside and actually ended up spinning the car. So we are on to the last lap as the CDP team, including Daniel D'Amato's father, look on. He's increased his margin now by another couple of seconds. It's now 9 seconds between himself and Sam Smith in P2. And Smith should be untroubled. And Galapata with a problem in the 458. He's lost out to Umit Ulko. So there is Galapata then. A backmarking car that Daniel D'Amato comes across now and gets past. Daniel D'Amato, barring disaster, is going to take the win in Trofeo Pirelli Pro with a significant margin and a supreme drive once again from the young star. And taking the win in the AMS is going to be Jens Liebhauser. So Daniel D'Amato then with the final few turns to do in this final lap of the 30-minute Trofeo Pirelli race from the Ferrari Challenge. CDP engineered, Daniel D'Amato driven, 488 GTE turbocharged car. Here he comes, 2 turns left to do, turn 13. For D'Amato, who floors it now and heads towards turn number 14. It'll be win 3 out of 3 races for Daniel D'Amato as he heads towards the checkered flag. Now, D'Amato takes the win. In the race overall and in the final stages, Fabio Lima tries to fight back against Alessandro Vezzoni and Philip Barron. This is for P2, P3. Alessandro Vezzoni just holds on to it from Lima and Barron. Sam Smith, of course, was out on his own taking P2. And Galapatar, of course, is a lap down on everybody else in that 458. Here comes Jens Liebhauser for the AM class. He will take the win in the AMs, followed by Christian Overgaard and Gerald Albuck. So there is Fabio Lima. There is Jens Liebhauser. And Daniel D'Amato, the winner of the race overall. And there is the Chris Froggatt number 93 car, complete with the damage. And the number 43 car of Ettore Contini that you can see there. Martin Nelson, well, it has to be said, Martin Nelson has taken 4 out of 4 AM wins. However, one of those was by a sheer stroke of luck, because if memory serves, Jens Liebhauser ran out of fuel, I think, was running out of fuel towards the end and slowed. This, in the meantime, is the replay between these fighting 3, Alessandro Vezzoni, Fabio Lima and